Hi guys, welcome to the first Trail Tech video. So I'm doing a video on the Trail Tech Vapor as well as the accessory lighting brackets and accessory lighting kit to show you how easy it is to put the Trail Tech Vapor on the DR650. The reason I did the Trail Tech Vapor is I wanted to bring this DR as well as my last one into a more modern spec. It's going to allow me to delete the analog speedometer and go to digital. We get to add on a tachometer. We split the left and right indicators, so they're not using that single bulb on the stock dash. We upgrade all of the lights to LED. I'll go through the entire loom with all of the color coding, what you need to match up, how you can do it without touching the DR650 loom, so that everything from the Trail Tech system is plug and play. I'll take you through an unboxing of the Trail Tech systems so you can see what sensors, wires, accessories you can just omit and leave in the box, and what ones I'm going to use. We'll look at other companies like Bush Pig Performance, as well as Warp 9, who make extra components that work perfectly to round out the Trail Tech system. So if you've been looking at updating one of your older bikes, namely the DR650, or you're just interested in some of the stuff from Trail Tech, then follow along. I'll take you through how I do this first portion of the install onto the DR650. In a future video, we'll look at all of the sensors and how they install, and then show you the entire package at that point. But come along, I'll take you through this first video now, and we'll get right into it. Okay, so let's run through all the stuff that you're going to need for the install if you do it the way that I'm going to do it. I've thought this through. I really like this setup. So you don't need all of this. We'll start to remove items that we don't need. And let's go through piece by piece quickly, and we'll discuss it as we go. So let's start off with the mounting bracket. So this is the mounting bracket for the Vapor. You can mount it through these and make use of the ISOs to mount to the back of the Vapor. Okay, so back to the parts. We'll take the bracket, we'll set it aside, we will use that. The temperature sensor. This comes with the Trail Tech Vapor. We don't use this because we're using the Warp 9 oil cooler block. We're going to get our temperature from there. This goes back in the box. Next, wheel speed sensor. So this will be our speedometer essentially with this and the magnets. This we need. Next is the magnets. They send you a whole lot of magnets. You can replace rotor bolts. I take the pink one, and in one of the holes in the rotor, I end up embedding it in there. It locks in. We need the pink one of this in the clip. The rest of these I will put in the box. The mounting brackets. These are the stock ones. These are meant to go around two different sizes of bars. That's what the arms are. They're hardware. And then this piece mounts to them and the Vapor mounts to it. I don't need any of this because we have this silver bracket that we saw before. So these will go back in the box. Then we have the wire for RPM. It's going to go around one of the spark plug wires. I'll do that later. This we need. Next is our power. So there's a battery in it, and we have the unit itself with all of its leads out the back. It does come with instructions as well, and in French. I don't need the French. French goes in the box. I will use the English instructions. The English instructions have a calculation you need to put into the Vapor for your wheel speed, but I need to wait till my front wheel's assembled because I need the diameter of the wheel. That covers what comes in the Trail Tech Vapor box. Next, because we're deleting the stock speedometer, so we delete the actual speedo itself, we're going to delete the cable that goes down. We end up deleting the speedo housing, so that all goes away. It all gets replaced by that sensor wire and the magnet, but we need to fill in the spacing that this thing takes up. And that's where this comes into play. This is the Bush Pig Performance Speedo Delete. So it just takes up that gap. We will keep this. We won't keep this. Back in the parts box. Next, the Warp 9 oil cooler block. So this is going to go into the oil cooler. So it ends up coming out of the box. It gets mounted here between these two. So the actual line fitting and the oil cooler mount point goes in between. And then you have the ability to put a sensor in the top of this block and you'll get the actual temperature of your oil, which is great. That's what I'm looking for. Comes with O-rings and everything you need. Now, in order to run the Warp 9 oil temperature block, which is this part number, you need an aftermarket probe from Trail Tech, which is this one. And the M6 is what's going to thread into the Warp 9 block. So they go together. And then this sensor has the correct connector to go to the vapor. And this is what replaces that original copper sensor. So then on to the indicator light dashboard. So that's this whole kit here. This you buy separate from the vapor. What it does is it gives you outside indicator brackets, and these will fit around the vapor on the outside of it on either side, as well as a whole bunch of different lights. You have to custom wire it in. Now this part I had trouble finding through Trail Tech and different distributors up here. It ended up being a Polaris part that I found, which was really weird through some searching. So I ordered it. It was a Polaris part for one of their side-by-sides, but when it showed up, it's just the good old Trail Tech indicator light dashboard. I haven't used this one before. The one I've used before is actually a bracket that this sits in, so you have a surround to the vapor and the lights are around it. This one is different. I kind of like this one a bit better. Both are usable, but if you can find either or. Now, for some reason, they also include all the magnets again with this. I don't know why. All these magnets are going with the other magnets that I'm not using in the box. Included in the rest of the kit, we'll need the brackets. We'll need these 4 rubber pieces. So these actually hold the bulbs within the different areas, and they hold the covers for the indicators. So these we need. In terms of the different lights that you get, I know you probably can't see them on there. You have 2 black block-offs that have nothing to them. You have a reverse, which we don't need. Fuel, like a fuel warning, which we don't have. We don't have a fuel sender. Oil or oil temp, we're not going to use it. 4-way or double signal, not going to use it. Low beam, so I won't use those. The ones I'm going to use are left-right signal, neutral, and high beam. All of the other lights I'll put in the box. Next, you actually get LED replacement bulbs. So here's the harness wired in with my 1 signal, and here's the difference with the LED. The LED is way brighter. I recommend swapping these out if it suits your application. Okay, so back over at the table, I've swapped out the LEDs into the harness. The incandescents I will actually put in my toolkit. They're good to have as backups. They may not be as nice as the LEDs. I may source out some replacement LEDs through Trail Tech, but for right now, these will be fine. And now the final thing to cover is going to be the looms. So this one I've already modified for my build. So what you get typically is the female adapter will already be connected to your lights. And then you get the male connector that will be pigtailed. So it's just bare wires with soldered tips ready to be installed. What they want you to do is they want you to take the female end connected to the lights, connect it to the male end, and then take the pigtail end, and that gets put into your loom. I simplify everything, so I cut the end off the female end, get rid of it, and then I just end up soldering the connections where I need them from the male pigtail, and that just eliminates a connector I don't need. This connector here will plug right into your Suzuki loom, so it's perfect. We don't need this. We don't need another extension. So those are all soldered, shrink wrapped, and ready to be loomed. The one thing I need to show you before, though, is I'm going to put up a set of instructions, and these are specific for the DR. So I'll put this picture up so you guys can see it easier. So we need to take the ground that goes to the high beam, which is this black and blue. So the black from here, this black ground used to go here. So it would run up here. We delete that. So I opened up the heat shrink and it's got a crimp connector. I ended up just cutting the end of the black, switching it over to my green grounds. I cut the shrink wrap on the green grounds. And again, they have a crimp connector. I just wrapped it around bare wire there. So the black ground from the blue, which is our high beam, wrapped it around bare wire of the greens, soldered, and then sealed it. So now these three grounds are together. So we have the grounds from the signals as well as the high beam together, and the neutral and its ground are independent from the system. Okay, so if you're going to do this my way and you're going to delete the female portion of this adapter and you're going to take the pigtail, solder it right in, you're going to have to change where the wires go. You have to do it regardless. But just so you know what the different orientations are for the wires, if you follow the ground switches, like the grounding changes that we just talked about, so taking the ground off of the high beam with the dark blue and mating it with the other greens, then this is how you'll end up wiring it. You'll have to pop out these. So they pop out at the front, just at the top of each of the grids. You put a small screwdriver in there, so you push it in and then tilt it down and press, and it'll pop out the back. I'll leave you to that to figure out. So when we do plug it in, orange to this turquoisey light green, you'll have turquoise with yellow on the stock, goes to orange. We have blue with black tracer, goes to black. We'll flip that over. So this side has the retaining piece. We have black white on the stock, goes to the green, which is that big common loom of grounds. In the middle, we have black. That's going to this light blue. And then yellow into dark blue. So back again, yellow, dark blue, black, light blue, black with white tracer into the green grounds. That's on the clip side. Flip it, blue with black tracer into black on the Trail Tech. That's that independent ground. We have turquoise with the yellow into orange, and then orange on the stock loom goes into light green on the Trail Tech. I should also note, if you've been following the videos, if you haven't picked up anything from TST yet, running the Vapor negates this. You won't need to buy this. If you're running in form that we did in the video, then you would require this. You don't need both. Next, I split them, make sure that I've got them on the correct sides. So I want my left signal and high beams on the left, and right signal and neutral on the right. I just put a piece in to keep them separate. And then we'll loom the whole thing. Make sure you keep enough space between these two so that they can go in each of the holes. You don't need too much. Just about that. And that looks after the loom. So the loom's all done, ready to go in. Okay, so now it's all installed. This is just mocked up though, just to show you guys. So we've used the silver bracket with the ISOs before and their bolts to connect through the accessory light brackets from Trail Tech. We've installed the left and the right signal covers, as well as the high beam and the neutral covers. We've done the LED bolts as well as the wiring. So now we get our neutral light, our left signal, right signal, and high beam switch. Now I need to do the rest of the install for the other components of the Trail Tech, which I'm going to do, and we'll check out more of this unit, what it can do, and how those things go together on the bike. But for now, at least the accessory wiring for the lighting is all done. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this unit yet. It may stay here. I might actually change it on this build. So for now, this is a mock-up, but at least you get to see what it's like. And if you're curious about the loom in the back end, so there is a hole in the bracket. You want to make sure that all of this wiring comes out nicely. I will end up putting some loom tape around this to protect it from the sharp edges. I might actually use a Dremel and round them out, this hole that's here in the bracket, just to make sure nothing gets cut. But you can see where it mounts perfectly to the DR650 on these two mounts. You can still slide left or right just a little bit if you need to. And then I have loomed all the lights. The connectors just pull out of these black tubes if you need them out. And they do seat very well. Let's see here. Then we have our loom. So this is why I said make sure you split them on their sides. Keep the center of the loom strong so it doesn't peel. And then separate portions of the loom between each of these. And you end up with a nice clean loom that has a lot of play to it. This I'll end up zip tying up into place once it's in final position so there's no movement, they won't pull out. And you have a clean loom. So I hope this has helped if you've been looking at installing the TrailTech systems on your bike, namely the TrailTech Vapor. If you have any questions, please post below, comment, send me a message. I'll try to help, especially when it comes to the wiring. I hope I did enough of a straightforward job and was clear with it. Sometimes I know the focus can be a bit off, but I'm happy to help if you're looking at doing this or if you have any questions along the way. So shoot me a message, and if not, then hopefully I'll see you in the next video and we'll get into the sensors. Thanks.